Listen, as DVD players and fans, we've been getting a lot of licensed content in the past year and a half, and I thought there would be no better place to talk about 5 licensed chapters that, in my opinion, we need to see in the game in the near future. Starting off with number 1, Jason Voorhees. We need to see Jason in DVD. Jason is the one that the people have been begging for years when it comes to classic horror. I mean, we've got Michael Myers, we've got Freddy Krueger, we've got Leatherface. If you want to complete your Mount Rushmore, your mountain of slashers, you need Jason in the game. Jason is, even though there's not been much going on with this franchise for years, Jason is still very popular, very well known, and to sort of complete that, Jason coming into the game, as he's always meant to be, would be sort of the cherry on the cake to complete that slasher section of the DVD Museum of Horror. I also think that Jason could have quite unique power, Obviously there are killers inspired by Jason, a la The Trapper, but I'm sure if Jason comes into the game, they'd find a way to sort of give him a uniqueness and make you really want to play it. Also, don't forget the iconic setting, Camp Crystal Lake. A survivor like Tommy Jarvis coming into the game, that would really suit sort of the atmosphere, the ambience of DVD. And it would be really something cool just to play on as Jason. Number 2 is my personal dream chapter for DVD. And that is, of course, Pennywise from Stephen King's famous It franchise. Now, Pennywise for me is a character that just captures a lot of attention, and he's just very unique compared to what we actually do have in DVD. Essentially, Pennywise is a shapeshifter, and he can shapeshift into people or things that people fear the most. So if you fear, a three-eyed monster, he can shapeshift into that and trick you into thinking that that's coming towards you instead of Pennywise. So it would be really, really interesting to see sort of a shapeshifter power in DVD for a killer. And there's no better killer for that to work with than someone as iconic as Pennywise. We would also get a really iconic map. If you think about the town of Derry, we could have some sort of sewer system. We could be doing gens, playing 2v8 in the Derry sewers. I mean, that's such an iconic location. It would be amazing to see that brought into the game. And it would be really interesting to see Pennywise in the game, and also how they would adapt his power. And also if he'd have voice lines as well. Maybe it would be the modern version from 2017. I don't know, but it's definitely a chapter that we need in DVD. Number 3 is Candyman. Now, I have not watched Candyman, I have to admit, but when I've seen sort of clips of Candyman and other people discussing Candyman in DVD YouTube, and how would his power work, what is he like as a character, etc., he just seems like he fits this game down to a T. I mean, a guy who has a hook, he can summon bees, he can, imagine that power in DVD. You spawn in, you start doing a gen, and then you just see this swarm of bees coming towards you, and Candyman's just following them. It would be very unique, I think, gameplay-wise, and it would be very exciting. I think a character like Candyman, with his design and the way that he is portrayed in the films, could be adapted into something that would be very unique, provide a fresh sort of perspective, and just a fresh look of how a killer could be. I mean, he's also an iconic character that people have been clamoring for to come into the game for years. And I think sort of having him come into the game would just be really significant and be really nice to sort of see such a legendary, iconic character come in. Moving on to number 4, we have Predator. Now, Predator is also one of my other most wanted chapters after Pennywise. Predator for me is just an interesting character. I mean, the way that the Predator is portrayed in the movies, a species of Yautja, with all these sort of gadgets and abilities to turn invisible, camouflage, shoot at you, do these all sort of... He's basically got multiple kits in one. And I find that really unique. And I think that something like that, we've seen behavior do it very recently with Vecna, with Dracula. You can change into different forms. You can use different things. You've got a base kit with 4 separate different powers. I think that something like Predator would work really well with that. And Predator would also bring such iconic locations, a jungle map, a Dutch Schaefer coming into the game as a survivor, someone like that, having Arnold Schwarzenegger's likeness in the game, as well as the Predator just being such an iconic character, like all the others I've listed so far. I just think it would be something that would be really well liked by the community. It would be probably really creatively done and adapted through gameplay wise and sort of source material being kept faithful. It would be something that I think would just be a perfect fit for DVD. Thematically, tonally, it would suit the atmosphere down to a T, and it's one that I'd really like to see come in the near future. My fifth and final license is a little bit of an unexpected one. Now, I could say Slenderman, and I would love to see a character like Slenderman come into the game, but for me, I'd really love to see the Joker come into DVD as a killer. I mean, can you imagine that? The Joker actually being in this game as a killer, how sort of fun that would be, how funny it would be just to see the Joker chasing you around with his red stain and like just killing you. I just think that the Joker's such an iconic character. I mean, and he's not really fits in the DVD universe typically like our other characters have done and do, like Jason or like you've got Michael, you know? But it would just be something that would bring so much attention to the game through sort of the DC fan base, and loads of attention would be garnered onto DVD, and I'm sure that there would be sort of such a cool power for the Joker, and you could have such iconic locations maybe from actual Batman films or the Joker, that it would just make so much sense, and it's a property that I'd really like to see be implemented into DVD. I just think it's such an abstract crossover that would just work so well in a weird way, and it's something that I'd really love to see. So those are 5 chapters that I believe we need in DVD. Let me know below what ones you love to see come into the game. Until the next time.